Tracking the groove.
Thank you. You're tuned in to Tracking the Groove TV, your link to the best adult R&B and smooth jazz around. Yes, I'm your host, Terry Love, and we're having a wonderful time hanging out backstage at one major event in the Midwest where all the jazz stars come to have a good time and just party. Earlier, you saw Mr. Walter Beasley, but right now, it is my honor and pleasure to have one of the best guitarists in the country on my side, Mr. Nick Collione. How you doing, Nick?
I'm good, Terry. How you doing?
I'm doing well. You know, it's kind of hard to be smooth, but I got the smoothest cat around. In fact, saw you with a pink suit on that made the Pink Panthers go just butt naked because he couldn't wear pink like you did.
All right, see, that's where we're going there, huh? Okay.
Hey, I'm just saying I had to give smooth where smooth is due. But definitely, what's been going on with Nick?
Just working, back and forth across the country and getting ready to start on my next project now and finishing up the summer tour season and then going to the fall tour season and the winter tour season.
So work is definitely working for you.
I'm pretty busy. God's blessing me,
That's a good thing to be blessed. Now, you mentioned your next project. When can we expect that?
January.
What's the title of it?
It's going to be called the G5 Summit.
The G5 Summit. Take me through some of the tracks that's on the album. Tell me what kind of feel, what kind of vibe will I get from the G5 Summit?
It's gonna be like one of I think maybe my most diverse project because generally I haven't had any guests on any of my records except for the last one when I had James Lloyd from Pieces of a Dream. But the G5 Summit is going to be 5 guitars. That's why it's called the G5. So I'm bringing in cats like Mark Antoine, Chuck Lobe. Still waiting on Norman to give me an answer. And,
You want me to call him up and tell him?
I didn't call him 60 times. I'm like, Norman, you're starting to make me mad.
With the collaboration like that, I mean, you get like hip hop stars and R&B stars that don't want to work together. How is it that in smooth jazz, all these great guitarists, award-winning guitarists, can get together like that?
Well, one thing about smooth jazz music is you got adults playing it. Right. Second thing is that all of us have a mutual respect for what each other does. I admire them, they admire me, I admire what they do, because there may be similarities between us, but we're all different. All our styles are really different, so, and we're not in competition with each other. It's like, we're all buddies, we're all partners. Whenever we're on the set together, we're hanging together, so.
That would be a nice album title, Together. All of us together. Now, you mentioned all this touring.
Maybe I might change the name.
Credit for me. So you mentioned all this traveling, all this touring. When do you get a chance to rest? And when you rest, what do you do?
Well, I generally get home sometime during the week, maybe Tuesday, and when I'm resting, I'll go out and go fishing or something like that, or just sit around the house and watch some television, or go over to my mom's house. Okay. But that's not rest because she always got some work for me to do.
You steal my baby, you going out there with ass and give me some peppers to make this cha-cha.
My mom, she hits me all the time. She's like, "You Nick Collione out there. When you walk through the door, you're Nicky."
Right.
It's like, okay.
Now, one can't help but see that you are always one of the smoothest brothers, dress, show, whatever the heck. You're always dressed to the nines. Is that something that mom's instilled in you, or what's that?
Yeah, it's kind of where I come from, and my mom has instilled in me also that, audience deserve that from you, They want to see construction workers, they go to a construction site, It's like, always try to give people your best, try to look your best and perform to the best of your ability all the time. So, and people see you before they hear you. So,
and definitely remember you. And it's funny that you say that, say one of the smoothest things, but you hear a lot of people getting sponsorships for their instruments, like saxes, cymbals, drums, keyboards. Korg may have, or Casio may sponsor somebody else, but Stacey Adams?
Well, I do have guitar sponsorship too from Gibson.
So what don't you have? Man?
I have guitar sponsorship with Gibson Epiphone.
Okay.
And the Stacey Adams thing just kind of came along because they saw me and it's like, this cat, he wears I had on a lot of their stuff. And it was like, we need to talk to you. And I was like, okay. And
for those of you who didn't know, he was awarded one of the smoothest dressed people in smooth jazz, and just pretty much all around. So definitely his gear is smooth, his music is smooth, and one of my favorite tunes happens to be off your Keeping It Cool album, man. I still bump that one to this day.
which one is that?
I can't think of the name of it. Don't put me on the spot because I'm searching. I played it several times. It was on the charts. You know that one. Come on now.
Always thinking of you.
That
it?
Yeah. Leave me alone, man. Leave me alone. This is where the interview just went wild, but we're going to pick it back up. Now, I'll have the opportunity to be on stage with you as a host. Now, that's kind of stepping out of the musicianship of most guys. Most guys are just musicians. But you're an MC. Do you do any DJing as well? I mean, as far as radio shows?
I got a radio show on Smooth Jazz 24/7.
Okay. All right.
But I don't know how I got into the hosting thing. One year, one festival asked me would I be the host down. I think it was Seabreeze down in Panama Beach. Next thing I know, everybody, I would be on the show, but it's like, Nick, would you host the festival for us? I was like, why me? I was like, but I guess I'm about the silliest or the craziest,
You have the great personality to just, like you said, this album is different from you. You're going different multi-genres or whatever, but that's how you are on stage. You can never know what to expect from Nick. In fact, I picked up one of your albums, a little bluesy on there. I was like, Nick is bluesy. This guy got a lot of everything.
I try to keep it interesting to me. It's like, I don't know. I can't get caught into one thing. I like to move around. And on the stage, I just get ideas and like, okay, I'm gonna take this music someplace else. I'm gonna play something different. And that's kind of the way I roll.
Can I get $1?
Sure.
Give me $1. Make you want to holler. Talking about something different, yeah. This cat, for those you don't know, I was at a jazz festival. He was on stage. Like you said, sometimes you just feel different and just want to do different things. He made up a song, got $1, make you want to holler, give it to me. What was it?
I had this on my CD, Feel the Heat.
Feel the Heat is on the CD, but you know what? People pulled out dollars. He walked around like he was bachelorette party entertainment, and they started giving it to him, putting it in his pocket. So it's definitely a show. Smooth dress, smooth music, and you never know what to expect. That is Mr. Nick Collionne. Look for his album coming out January 1st. It could be, after the 1st of January 2013. It could be called the 5G strings, 5G.
G5 Summit.
Hey, I know it's G5 Summit, or it could be changed to whatever I said it was before.
All of us together.
Yeah, see?
Yeah, I remember.
My memory is bad. I'm getting old. Oh, see, Lord have mercy, let me. So, I know they say you like to fish a lot. What does fishing do for you?
Makes me relax. It's nothing like being out in the water on the lake 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. It puts me in touch with my creators because, it's quiet, and I can reflect. I can pray, and thank God for all that He's given me, all the blessings, and ask Him to continue, But
what's one of your favorite songs to perform, and one of your favorite performers?
One of my favorite songs of mine to perform would probably be "Hurry Up This Way Again," because it's a crazy song for me, And who's one of my favorite performers? I would have to say GB, George Benson. He, George puts on the show out there,
The first time I caught George, he just came out, straight face, walked over to his stool, started playing. Played for about 20 minutes. And then he said, "Hello, Milwaukee." I was like, this brother can't even talk. He got right into his music, but I really appreciate George.
Yeah, George and he's a great guy, great guy, man.
Maybe he could be one of the 5.
I don't know if I can afford George. I'd be like, I don't think they take pop bottles in the store no more.
Right. So, in return, except for Michigan and California. Well, that's going to do it for this episode of Tracking the Groove, your link to the best adult R&B and smooth jazz around. We're definitely looking forward to hearing more things from our man, Mr. Nick Collionne.
Right on. I'm looking forward to hanging out with you, Terry.
We do it up every year. In fact, I had the cat in the studio with me a few years ago, DJing. See, I was about to try to end the show, but this cat has some vocal ability too, man.
Oh, well, a little bit.
So that's the thing. Kids, if you're listening, learn how to do more than one thing. That's how you stay in the biz. So whether you sing, learn how to play an instrument, learn how to produce, learn how to be the engineer, learn how to promote, just learn everything. Longevity. Longevity?
Longevity, make yourself relevant.
You heard it from Nick Collione himself. Terry Love with Track in the Groove. Your link to the best adult R&B and smooth jazz around.
Track in the groove. Track in the groove.